Hey guys, this is Camfrey15. I am back at it with another video for you guys, and we are back with more Flash Season 7 episode reviews. Now, this episode I really did like. It was a pretty enjoyable episode, and this episode dealt with, I believe, from what I heard from other reviewers, is last week at the end we dealt with the Strength Force. This time, I guess this is the Sage Force. I don't know anything about the forces. No lie, I don't read the comics. I don't know nothing about the Stage Force, so this is all brand new shit to me. But I thought it was a pretty cool episode because this guy was essentially using his powers to make people be scared and be fearful and bring up their deepest and darkest fears. Now, what happens is Barry's trying to find obviously the Strength Force girl. I think her name is I forgot her name. I'll get the name right, but Strength Force girl, Fruenja or something like that. That whole thing, which I found, okay, very interesting that he wants to get this done now because he wants, essentially to have this all, finished with. So, guess what? He doesn't freaking like lose it and stuff like that. But it's definitely going to be harder. Also, he's using these isotopes to be able to help find, obviously, the people that are the finder and stuff like that. So, yeah. So what happens next in the next scene? We see Cecilia, or Cecile. Jeez, I keep saying that damn name wrong. Go crazy because she's getting like this the fear person essentially, affecting her and stuff like that. And it's really like pushing her to the limits where she's getting freaking scared and everything. And I'm like, whoa, this is getting intense and stuff like that. But it had a horror factor. You could tell like this episode was probably supposed to be like near Halloween and stuff like that, most definitely. So that is freaking insane and stuff like that. So what happens next after that, they have the isotopes. The following day, they have the isotopes go off, and essentially, well, first things first. I missed it. I don't have notes, so I'm not running through the episode. I'm kind of just going all over the place. But we see Iris's and Bear's reaction to obviously, I would say, obviously the reaction of the two of Killer Frost and Caitlin splitting, and my God, it was so funny. You just had Barry like his freaking face was like dropped, and I'm like, yo, this is freaking hilarious because my God, this person is like, he's like, whoa. So yeah, so they're gonna come up with a way using the whole thing with Firestorm to try to mold them back, but we see that Killer Frost doesn't want to go back and merge with Caitlin. So, by the end of the episode, they kind of resolve the issue like, okay, we'll figure this out. And, hey, extra living buddy in my house, stuff like that. Now, Cisco absolutely names Strength Girl Fuerza, which is Spanish for strength, if you guys wanted to know. So there I go. I put it up. So anyways, like I said, the isotopes go off, and that's when we see obviously the person. I think I looked it up. I think the person's name is Psyche. Essentially, what happens is we see these two people from the Crows. So I guess you get your Batwoman reference here from, Batwoman in the Flash. And they're looking at this like alien creature that looked like from one of the crossover things. Eventually, Flash doesn't see it, but he comes face to face with Psyche, and essentially Psyche makes him seize his worst fears. And essentially, we have Barry getting destroyed by a Reverse Flash and then getting stabbed by Savitar. It's always good to see those guys again, huh? And he actually got stabbed. So that's when we find out, like, if you die in the fear world or whatever, when you're getting affected by the fear, you die in real life. Essentially, Barry's like, his speed healing healed him from dying, essentially. So pretty crazy. Eventually what happens next is he comes back. This time Frost, Cisco, and Barry all show up to stop him. But, they're wearing the whole, mind thing that Grodd used to try to affect him. But this time it didn't work on Psyche because Psyche's like, you think those future devices are going to work on me? Please. he makes Killer Frost and Cisco see, their fears. Killer Frost's fear is that she gets arrested for the crime she committed, and the person who turned her in was Caitlin. Speaking of actually Joe West in the scene, I forgot the person's name, but we see like this government person, show up, and essentially by the end of the episode, we find out that she's after Killer Frost for the crime she committed. So that's the storyline. It's kind of a mini storyline going on there, but the main storyline here. Eventually, what happens here, or what happens next, is Flash. He tries to do his, spinning around, lightning thing, and the same thing like Fuerza. Psyche isn't affected by it. He just sticks his hands up and kind of absorbs it, and is like, okay, so we can't do no damage to these guys. He can't do his lightning attack. And I also forgot to mention, speaking of other things, we see the Speed Force appear in the form of obviously Nora, Barry's mother, and she's very badly damaged and very badly bruised and hurt and stuff like that. So they eventually are tracking her and seeing whenever she's going to wake up again and stuff like that. Anyways, going back to the fight, Barry is then affected by Psyche's fear, and essentially he sees all his loved ones dead. So that's the whole thing, and then that's when he has this whole mental breakdown type of thing going on. Eventually, what happens is the way they're going to beat Psyche is through Cecile. And what they do is they put Cecile in the Thinker's shares to expand her mind, thing to be as a counter reactive type of force, thanks to Barry's courage to make people, not be scared. And we see Psyche do a whole field where it's encapsulating some people of Central City. We see some people, living their worst nightmares and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Flash, then again, while he's trying to break through the barrier, he gets hit. And we see this very creepy scene where everyone's blaming him, like, why'd you let us die? Iris comes up and she's like, you not only killed me, but you killed our children. I'm like, hint, hint. Because apparently Bart Allen's going to be in this season because this guy got cast as Bart Allen, who apparently is saying the articles are saying that Bart Allen's going to be like his Barry's son, but in the comics, Bart Allen is Barry's grandson. So unless that's a mistranslation there, who knows? Well, I guess we're just going to wait till Bart Allen makes his appearance in the show. Eventually, Barry fights it thanks to Cisco getting into his ear and saying, like, you can do this. And eventually, like I said, his courage helps take out, Psyche. Psyche kind of vaporizes. It's not specified what happened to him, but I'm guessing he's going to be back. So, yeah, at the end of the episode, what happens is Barry's getting this crazy headache. He goes into cryo, and then that's when we see at the same time, Nora, the Speed Force, shows up out of nowhere, and she says that I was not only attacked by Fuerza, I was also attacked by the Psyche, the Sage Force guy. So pretty damn interesting to see where this storyline's going. We've already got 2 of the forces revealed. I don't know what the other forces are, but definitely if these 2 forces were strong, it's only going to be much stronger. The other 2 are going to be just as strong. But I thought it was a pretty good episode. Very much enjoyed this. Definitely like some callbacks to previous enemies, and definitely can't wait to see where this season is going to be going forward. Next episode, it seems like we're going to be like having Cisco and Chester go back into the past, to like the 90s, which looks like a pretty dope, funny episode. But yeah, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode of The Flash, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more CW show content or the Flash reviews. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Until then, guys, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.